Morning, everyone. Yesterday, the kids had off from school, so Dini and I took the kids on the Brightline. We never experienced the new Brightline. We took it down to Miami to go see the windward walls and have a day out for the kids. When I was in Miami, there was this big Mercedes parked there that I came across with the kids, and the license plate on this big Mercedes said SLF, self-made, M-A-D-E, self-made. And we were laughing about this guy who puts on his license plate, I'm a self-made man. I achieved everything on my own. I told my kids, it reminds me of what someone once said, that a self-made man is like a self-hatched chicken, right? Or someone else said that I'm a self-made man and I worship my creator. But it reminded me of another license plate I once saw. I once saw someone had a license plate that said GR8FUL, grateful. In life, when you are blessed with success, you could either say, I'm a self-made man, or you could say, I'm grateful that God gave it to me. In this week's parsha, when Hashem sends Moshe to tell Paro to let the Jews go, it says Hashem spoke to Moshe and Aaron, and he commanded them to speak to the children of Israel and to Paro, the king of Egypt. And the big question is, we understand why he has to talk to Paro, but why does he have to talk to the Jewish people to let the Jews go? And the Medrash says something very interesting. Medrash says that there was a two-pronged message. Speak to Paro to let the Jews go out, and at the same time, teach the Jews the laws of freeing slaves. That one day when they come to the land of Israel and they acquire servants, they should emancipate their servants. So the question is, we understand now's the time to talk to Paro, but why is now the time to teach the Jews the laws of freeing your slaves? And the answer is that it says in Jewish law that it's always a mitzvah to give tzedakah. You know when's the best day to give tzedakah? On a fast day. Why on a fast day? So Rashi says, you know when's the best time to give charity? At the end of the fast. I once heard about a certain rabbi, he would make an appeal for all the poor people in the community right before the end of Ne'ilah, at the end of Yom Kippur. Because he said, now your stomachs haven't eaten for 24 hours. You could understand how the poor people feel every day. It's like Yom Kippur for them. And you'll give more generously because you could empathize, you could feel their plight. Same thing, Hashem says to Moshe, tell the Jews now to teach them the laws of freeing servants, because now that they're being free, they know the plight of a servant, of a slave, and they feel grateful that God is freeing them, and therefore they'll want to remember the law and the lesson and the feeling, how they felt when God freed them, that they should free others. And that's really true in every area of life. It's interesting that this verse is chapter 6, verse 13, 6:13. It's true of the whole Torah. Every mitzvah, the more you're grateful for what God has given you, the more likely you're going to want to help somebody else. The more you can empathize with someone else's plight, the more you want to help someone else. And I'll tell you what happened. It was our first trip on the Brightline. When we came back, we were taking the 4:15 train back to West Palm Beach. We come there, we find out it's a delay, a half hour, another hour. Finally, the train left like an hour and 15 minutes later. What happened? So today you look up right away what happened. And everyone in the waiting area was talking. Tragically, as the train was coming down from West Palm Beach to Miami, it hit a pedestrian in Fort Lauderdale and threw him into the canal, and unfortunately the person died. And we're sitting there thinking about this person, who died. But there was this one woman next to us, a young woman. She went over to whoever was running things. She was like, you know, this is terrible. I've been waiting here for an hour and a half. I need to go. I have to be somewhere. And the woman was very kind, the woman from Brightline. She said, can I offer you a drink or something, or a refund? She said, I don't want a refund. I want a refund of my time. You took an hour and a half of my time. And she's making this big commotion. And the woman says, like, maybe I could put you in the VIP lounge. She says, no, I want my time back that you took from me. And I'm thinking, some poor pedestrian in Fort Lauderdale lost all the remaining time of his life. Imagine he started the day, nice day, and suddenly all the time of his life. And this woman could only think about her hour and a half of time that she lost. And sometimes when we hear things like this, we say, thank God, I'm healthy, I'm alive. Baruch Hashem. It shouldn't make us think more about ourselves. It should think about what we could do for others and how grateful we should be. And that was the first lesson that Moshe Rabbeinu taught the Jewish people. Remember every experience in life. Remember what God did for you. You're not a self-made man. Without God, you wouldn't be where you are today. And therefore, pass on that kindness to others.